Welcome, welcome, welcome to Narrate Your Story TV. I am the host of Narrate Your Story TV. My name is Dr. Christy Iwuju, and I am super excited for today's conversation. You need to see the guest that I have coming to you today. But before I get to the guest, so what do we do here at Narrate Your Story TV? This is where we bring guests all over to really help you up level your life and business. So we bring expertise across the globe. Every Monday, we do this show every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's right, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you are joining us, I do appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. And don't forget to leave your comments. You never know who needs that information and needs to ask that question as well. So, who do we have today? We have Linda Pringle Evans, who is the CEO and founder of Pringle Business Consulting LLC. She's a brand extraordinaire and business consultant, serving professional women and entrepreneurs and small medium-sized enterprises to build personal and business brands to monetize their uniqueness and differentiation of competitors, that is. Linda has an intuitive gift that allows her to tap into her clients' innate abilities, gifts, talents, and strengths to build an impeccable brand distinction. Linda's clients become branded as an authority within their industry. She provides services such as build a solid brand identity that becomes top of mind, discover and monetize your unique selling proposition, position your brand to stand out, get noticed, and get paid within your niche. Everybody, grab something to write with, bring your favorite drinks, and get ready because she is about to drop some nuggets. Please help me welcome my guest, Linda Pringle Evans. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you so very much for this opportunity to be here with you on this beautiful Monday morning in some areas, Monday afternoon where I am. I am excited to be here and just thrilled with the viewers who are live with us. So thank you all for being here as well. All right, Christy, let's do it.
Thank you. So, in today's conversation, we're going to dive in about branding at its best. That's right. You heard me right. We're going to talking about branding. Have you ever wondered the difference between branding and marketing? What separates you from your competitors? How do you stand out? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So please don't forget to leave your comment. Thank you, Jennifer, for watching us. Don't forget to leave your takeaway from this conversation as well as your comments, and we'll be coming to you. So, Linda, you and I know each other. We've been knowing each other since 2017, and we've been connecting ever since. And you've been doing amazing, amazing work, not just here in the United States, but across the globe, helping your clients to monetize their unique selling proposition. And today, my viewers get to experience you as well. For those individuals that don't know who you are, before you get to be this lady that everybody wants to work with internationally, there was a story before now. There was a valley that you had to walk through before you get here now. Can you share with our audience, our listeners, how that journey going from the valley to where you are now?
I would say the valley was an awakening moment for me. when I discovered while working in corporate America, um, my colleague shared with me what his salary was. And we were doing, I mean, we had the same position. And when he shared that, what his salary was, and I did not ask him, he just voluntarily shared it with me. And I did approach the gentleman that we reported to, and I wanted to know why. He was earning significantly thousands more than I was. And I knew my work was superior over his. And I'm not just saying it because it's me, but it's a fact. And I addressed it with him, and I'll never forget the response I got. And that is, he is a man, he is the head of his household.
Mm.
And I said, so he gets paid more just because he's a man and the head of his household? And he said, yes. He said, Linda, I didn't make the rule. That's just the way it is. And my response was, what about the women who work here, who are head of households? So shouldn't they be considered the same? And he said, again, Linda, I did not make the rule. So for me, that's when I've always been an advocate, Christy, for women. Ever since I was a girl, I've always wanted to see women, excel and become their greatest self, being the best of who she is, and being. I'm a woman of faith, and I believe that God has created everybody for a purpose, and finding your purpose and living it out is so significant for the world. I feel because you're here to make an impact. So after I discovered that, it was like, I can't believe this. I work harder, I do more, but I don't get paid the same. And that's not right. It's, and, you know, I think sometimes things just happen for you when it's time. So I spent 25 years in corporate and started my own business. And I felt starting my own business, I could get paid my worth. That's how I felt. I can, I know what my fees are. I know what I can provide. I'm confident at what I can do. And it's not about me being a woman or being compared to a man. It's about what I can bring and solve the problems that I know I can do and make a difference for those that I serve. So that was kind of like my valley moment, discovering the huge difference for being a man and versus a woman. And it impacted me. It truly did. And I've always wanted to see women be financially secure. And women who know me, they know how I feel about this. I'm adamant about women having financial security because I'm a mature woman, and I know what it takes as women are aging and how you're going to survive, because as long as you live, you're going to need money, and it's plenty of it, not a little, plenty. And I can't stress it enough. So that's it for me, Christy. Is my moment in the valley was discovering that my colleague was making significantly more than me, and it evolved into me starting my own business. And I'm glad that I did. And I'm glad for that moment. Everything happens for a reason.
Awesome. Wow. As you are talking, it reminds me of what you just said, remind me of Oprah Winfrey and what happened to her. And that's just basically almost the same situation where she was making less. She was being paid less than the man that, she was working with. And when she
Mm,
asked the question, the response was, well, the other person is the head of household, or the other person has family, basically, right?
mhm,
And that must have been not just an eye opener for you, but it set you on a path to becoming or doing what you are currently doing with women. And we are going to dive into what you do with women. So, how difficult was it? You talk about what really happened. How difficult was it for you to set the story right?
Are you referring to when I
That
started
job,
my business, or
the job, to get paid what you're worth, or was it left at that?
okay, I want to make sure I understand you correctly with your question. You're asking me how difficult it was for me after discovering what
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
my male counterpart was earning more, significantly more than me.
Yes.
Christy, I was raised by my paternal grandparents, Junior and Mary Pringle, and they taught me to always do the right thing. So, regardless of knowing the pay difference, I still provided the best quality service that I could provide. It didn't make me diminish who I am, my worth, my work. I still continued on the same path that I had set for myself. And it gave me a drive, more of a drive, uh, that led me to starting a business, I think. I really do, because I believe that we all have been blessed to create wealth. I just believe that with my whole heart and soul. And is it easy? No. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and everybody would have it. It requires work. It requires determination. It requires being persistent. It requires tuning out those people who say, do you honestly think you can do it? Do you think you can make it? Why do you think you can do this? It just goes on and on. A bunch of naysayers pouring into you and making you feel and doubt. And that's the one thing I want women to really stay away from: doubt. Doubt about who you are, doubt about your worth, your what your significance is in this world. Because I heard Steve Harvey say this a couple of times, and it's so true. He said, your gift will make you rich. And I will say kudos to him, ditto on that, because I believe that as well. You've been gifted with something that nobody else has, that goes into building a brand. You have something that can truly set you apart from your competition. And today, more than ever, because everybody now is online, and I don't think that is going to change going into the future. So, being online, how are you being positioned to stand out and get noticed? And people raise their hands and say, I want that. He or she is speaking directly to me and they can help me. So, how do you package yourself to make that happen? And that's what a brand will do. And it takes time. You just don't say, oh, well, my brand is I'm great at speaking. Well, you're great at speaking, but what are you speaking about? What are you pouring into people that is going to make a difference into their lives? I believe everybody has been positioned as to solve a problem for a specific group of people. You're not a problem solver for everybody. And you have to understand exactly who is your specific audience that you are being branded to assist.
Okay, so you are already diving into our today's conversation. So let's talk about branding. One of the challenges, especially for people that are coming into business, the starters, people like me per se. And when you are coming in to start a business, there's a lot of unknown. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Correct.
But when you dive into the market, first of all, you have an idea of what to do, but no one really educates you very well on what it takes to be able to have a business that is worth having. And one of the challenges that I had was not knowing anything about branding, buying programs, whether it's getting program, do it yourself, or even coaching, especially especially freebie, which means you don't pay anything, you just grab it. And what I found out was that you get so many of the freebies, you're stagnant, you're confused, you don't even know which one is which anymore. And a lot of people, and I get to talk to a lot of people that are starting business or that have just started their business, and within 3 years of their business, can even go up to 5 years of their business. We talk about branding, and people are buying programs after programs, because perhaps they have been promised that if you buy this program, you make six figure. And when they don't get it, they keep chasing the money, and they keep getting the same results. Somebody like me, at a point, I asked, I know something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong until I learned about branding. Please take a moment, tell us what does, and also people get branding and marketing confused, because immediately you buy that program and you want to sell your product and services, and people are not buying. You here asking yourself, how come I did everything I'm supposed to do, but yet people are not buying? Can you share with us the difference, first of all, the difference between branding and marketing?
Okay. I'm going to give you the short version and then I'm going to dive a little deeper.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, when you say branding,
Mhm.
branding are the elements that goes out to promote your brand. Okay. And by branding, I'm talking about website, logo, um, say even social media, the content that it should speak to your audience, your personality, your tone of voice. All of that is branding. Now, the marketing, it communicates out into the marketplace about your brand. It's communicating through your newsletter, your blogs, your website. It's taking that part of your brand and marketing it. But let me start from the beginning, Christy. And this is where I have discovered, especially with women, we go to branding or marketing before we build a brand. Okay. We don't take the time, not all, some, to build a solid brand foundation. And I want you to think about a house. When you're building a house, the first thing you have to do is have a solid foundation. If that foundation is not solid, as you're building that house and the frame is going up, if it's not solid, you won't have a solid foundation, or that house will have cracks and problems later on, structural problems. Okay.
Sure.
Same thing with a brand. You, Christy, you viewers, you are your brand. And we're living in a time where people want to know you. I don't care what type of product or service you are providing. People today want to connect with people who have similar values. They understand what they're going through. They want to know you, first of all. So let's begin with brand. A brand is simply building it. You create your brand, which what is the perception that you want people to know about you. When your name is spoken, what are the 3 to 5 adjectives that you want people to say about you when they're describing you? So, Christy, I'm going to throw a question at you.
Okay.
What would you
Hold,
like
hold,
for?
hold on that thought. Let me say hello to all our viewers. Jennifer, thanks for watching us. She said hello, Linda. So
Hi,
she must
Jen.
be coming from your tribe. Justina,
Just
also hi Justina, thanks for joining us. And Janice Cummins, coming from my tribe. Thank you and good morning also for joining us. Please don't forget to drop your comments. So go ahead, please.
Okay, Christy. When someone describes Christy, what are 3 or 5 adjectives that you want people to use describing you?
Now, I don't know. I may be falling on this, so that's why I got you here to keep me to keep me straight. Anyway, well, if someone thinks about me, see me, they think about she's going to represent. In other words, she will look nice. She will dress well. That's one thing. If they see me, depending on who's gonna see me, I don't know what I'm getting this right. They know that if they see me on social media, that I'm not gonna post a dog, a cat today, and tomorrow post something else. They know exactly what lane that they're going to see me. Am I getting it?
Okay, you're getting it, especially with the consistency part.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to use myself as an
Okay.
example. Okay, you get to create the perception that you want people to know about you. And let me say this, that perception should be authentic, it shouldn't be fake. Number one, your brand should be authentic. Okay, now for myself, I'm very ambitious. Okay, I'm result driven, can be quite competitive. As far as my personality, I am a very caring person. I have a certain, you mentioned something about appearance, the way you show up. That's important too in a brand. And it does require consistency. My brand is who I am. I've been this way all my life. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't start today because I showed up for you, Christy, and for everyone who is here.
Mhm.
I was taught very early about how to be a lady and how a lady is supposed to present herself. So it stuck with me and it became part of me, my personality, okay? The way I show up. And this is who I am, not fake, phony, anything. It's who I truly am. So I want all of you to think about when someone introduces you, how do they describe you? And write those words down. And if those words aren't what you want to be known for,
Mhm.
you get to shape it, you get to change it, you get to create it, okay? So that you are known for what you want to be known for. Don't allow other people to brand you because other people will do it because we're humans. And when we see someone, we immediately start forming a perception about that person. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely. You are so right. You
Yes.
are so right. Yes.
So, what I say to you is this, help them to shape the perception that they have about you. As Jeff Bezos of Amazon said, your brand is what people are saying about you when you're not in the room. Okay. And let me also say this about why building a brand is so important, especially for women entrepreneurs. See, when you can't be everywhere, when opportunities exist, you can't be in every room where they are. But if you have built your brand perception, which is truly your reputation, let me make that clear. See, your brand perception now has become your brand reputation. Okay. So when your brand reputation sticks in someone's mind about who you are, what you do, how you do it, how they feel about you, the emotional connection you have with them, when those opportunities come across and you have built good relationships, Doors can open for you that you don't even have to go out after. They will come to you. This is why building a brand is so important, especially today, and building the right relationships along with your brand. So, Christy, does that help?
That helps a lot. As you are thinking, is something that you and I talked about as well. And it is so important that when I work with my clients, I help them unpack their story, I help them with their presentation skills. And it's something that I don't take for granted, because what I notice is that when you do well for somebody else, that person never forgets. They will even speak of you, how well you've done for them in your absence without even you knowing. And they're going to mention your name. They're going to be almost like your agent in a way without you even knowing it. And of course, I'm so lucky to have individuals that I've worked with that have done that for me as well. And so
Mhm.
you are absolutely right. I think oftentimes, even as a coach, sometimes people think buy this, sell this, without making sure that the person that you are selling to is getting the value, the transformation. Because when they receive the transformation, it's going to help you. Maybe not now, sometime along the line. And I mean, I agree. Serving people, but serving people with the mindset of transformation that they are going to receive, not so much about what they are paying you for the services. So I absolutely agree. So
But
as we
Christy, can I
continue,
can I just also say this?
yes,
In building your brand, yes, you do need a couple of things. Clarity is the big one. Clarity about yourself, knowing who you are, what you want to be known for, your why for doing what it is that you do. Also having clarity about who is your ideal customer, your ideal target audience. That's is so essential because everybody is not your customer. So sometimes you mentioned a moment ago about buying programs and the programs don't work. Well, it may have been a program not specifically for you, but you thought the program was. Okay? So it's I hate for people to think that the programs aren't working, that people are spending their time, their energy, their money pouring into getting products and services out there and they aren't working. Perhaps it's not for you. And that's why it's so important for us to understand who is your ideal client. Who is it that you're supposed to serve? And once you become very clear about that, then, then you also begin to understand what is the problem that you are solving. It's not what you want to solve. What problem does the customer, your target audience, what is the problem they're facing? And can you, do you have the expertise to provide the solution to them? Don't make it up. If you don't know, then they're not your ideal customers. You want to serve, it's the truth. Serve those who you can make a difference for so that they can get the solution. If for me, I love working with women to get clarity about their brand, definitely. And in doing that, helping her to understand exactly what is her unique selling proposition. This is where I see many women have problems when it comes to being able to express what is her unique selling proposition or unique selling point. What is it? And for me, I love taking time to help unfold for her to reveal this is it. Now that you've discovered what your unique selling proposition is, now it's time to monetize it. So, what I do is helping women to see exactly how to monetize and generate six figures. That's what I love doing because for me, it goes back to what I said a moment ago. I want to see as many women and help as many women as I can to generate six figures in business because I want to see more women be financially secured. You know, you can make six figures, and if you spend it all, then you still won't be secure. Okay. We know that. But at least I want to see as many women as I can to get to 250,000 because
You know,
American Express said if we get more women to 250K, then they can see themselves marching going forward to a million. So that's my mission is that.
okay. Let me see what our listeners are saying. Janice comments. Oh, let's begin with Jennifer. Jennifer says, so true. I've known Linda over 20 years. Oh, wow. You guys have known each other for so many years.
Yes.
And she's authentic. I can agree because we've come to know each other for a couple since 2007, 2017. And you reflect in and it does reflect in your business. And Janine says, so well, okay. She was talking about, I think she's talking about when you were explaining the difference in between marketing and branding.
Mhm.
And she says, so very well explained. It really helps to understand the differences. And so when you're talking about in a layman's term, can you explain to us, to our viewers, when you talk about unique selling proposition, what is that? What does
It,
that mean?
it means what is unique about the products or the service that you provide. Looking at what is going to set you apart from your competition. That's what it is. See, if you don't take the time to research your competition, how are you going to know what makes you different? See, you cannot just be the same as everybody else. It doesn't work. It makes it too difficult. If you can't stand out and get noticed today, it is extremely difficult to generate more revenue in your business. So you need to know exactly what is it about you and your product and services that you can do that nobody else can do it like you. There's plenty of people who do exactly what I do,
Mm-hmm,
and they're great at doing it.
mm-hmm,
But I know what I'm really good at myself, and that is I can definitely help women discover their USP, their unique selling proposition. That's where I bring the clarity to her business. And then from there, it also helps build her brand foundation even greater. It gives her branding components, like what should appear on her website, what type of content post should be going out in social media about who she is and what she does and how she's able to make a difference for the people that she serves. When you can do that clearly, Christy, it does make your marketing much easier because without the proper branding done ahead, the marketing becomes difficult because now your messages that you are creating, the content that's going out, if you don't know who your ideal client is, where is it going to land? Who's going to see it and feel this is what I need? If you're just being somewhat generic in your marketing, then you won't attract the right clients. Is this making sense?
It makes it, you are talking to me. Yes, it makes a lot of sense, and that's exactly why I wanted to ask you that question so that our viewers or anybody else that may be watching this will get that. Because it's, you said at the beginning, it's not just about the logo, the color, and that's part of it, but that's
That's
not really.
important for branding. For branding, your brand is really about your reputation, what you create, the perception, what people become to know about you, what you stand for, what you have become known for. That's all part of building a solid brand. You understand?
Yes, yes.
And it's
What do
about
you say?
you.
Yes. So what do you say when someone says, I do more than one thing? If I can do it, I can do it. Why should I be just niched into this one particular thing? I know
Okay,
what it is, but I want you to share.
all right. When you are, especially when you're getting started in business until you have become known, if you're coming out the gate saying, I do this, I do that, I do this, I can do that, well, people become confused, and confused minds don't buy. They will see you as a jack of all trades, okay? And you really, who is your audience? All these things that you say that you do they have the same audience? Maybe, maybe not. But unless you're clear on starting with becoming known for one thing first, when you become known as an authority for one thing, you can then have legs under you. Now you can do this. You do that well. You can do something else. You do that well. When I started with niche marketing in my business, helping women with niche marketing because I saw they were all over the place. And I felt that was a need that I could fulfill, which I did. But in doing niche marketing, it evolved into helping build personal brands because people buy people. It's a fact. I can't, it's not my doing. That's just the way it is. So it evolved into branding, building brands, helping people, women to know the difference between building a solid brand, making sure, and I got to ask this question, how many of us have created, say, maybe 5 different websites because we feel, okay, I'm going to try this website. And then this isn't working. Okay, then someone else pitch you and say, oh, but I can create a website for you, and this website is going to do this. It's going to have all the right SEOs. It's going to, we can bring the clients to you. Have you heard that before?
Yes, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
but when you aren't very clear about your brand, you will find yourself creating over and over and over again your branding elements because your thinking is not working. Your website isn't working for you like you thought it would because your website, I always thought of it as like the ATM or no, like a billboard. Your website is your billboard for explaining you need me, okay? And when you look at your logo reflects you as well. But you don't create those things before you get very clear about your brand. Because in developing your brand, then you're going to find out what your color palette should be. All of that comes into play. Then you'll know exactly what should appear, the content should appear on your website. Build the brand first, then build the branding, those branding elements, then the marketing, because the marketing is going to push it out. Your brand is going to be conveyed out into the marketplace to the right audience. sharing exactly what you can do for them. So when they go to your website, when they look at your logo, when they see your post on social media, it's all consistent.
You said it so well. That's a challenge for somebody who's starting a business because you don't know all these pieces. And oftentimes there's that tendency. Sometimes you don't have the money, even if you know. Sometimes you don't have the money and you begin where you are doing what you can do and how much you can afford. Because if, for example, somebody wants to start a business now and somebody like you charges 10,000 or more and that person doesn't have the money. Money is one. My experience is that not having the money is one, but not having the understanding what that brand is what I think is one of the things that I find entrepreneurs don't know. Brand versus just buying programs after programs and not really making headway on all those programs. Because, like you put it so well, the program you're buying may not pertain to your niche, may not even pertain to your clients, I mean, your target audience, right? The people that you want to attract. And so you buying this program while the program is an excellent program, while the coach is an excellent coach, but it doesn't work with what you're trying to make it work. Because I tell you, messaging is so important because if you have the right message, if you have the right message, people, your client, the prospective clients, they will self-select. They will
Mhm.
raise your hand. But I don't care what else you have. If you don't have the right message, because your right message will attract the person to raise the hand and say, I'm the person that you are talking about. I am the
Mhm.
person that sometimes some of the copywriters are doing so well that you're wondering, were you in my conversation? How did you know? But
Yeah.
it's but it's all about messaging. But the challenge also is the fact, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know. So give us three things that you think somebody starting a business now, where do you think they need to start? What is the first thing that you feel they need to start before even buying all those programs? Where do you think they need to start that maybe they don't have money?
Okay. For some, and we're talking about women.
Yes, we're
I
talking about
assume we're
women.
talking about women. Okay. I would say to any woman considering to start a business and she doesn't have any funds to pay, um, I would visit the Small Business Development Center in her location, the SBA, Small Business Administration. I would highly, highly recommend going to your women's business center in your community. And that's where you can start and begin to get, a checklist of the things that you need to do so that you're doing it correctly and not having to pay uh, a coach or a consultant to get you started. That's what I would suggest, Christy, because there are organizations and associations available to help women, especially now more than ever. There's so many opportunities that is existing to help women entrepreneurs to become very thriving within their businesses.
And you are so right about women. And I don't know, I'm sure there's so many other organizations, but the one that you have mentioned, Women's Center, they do it for free. And now, what I know is that now with this pandemic, everything is online. So you can take classes, you can take courses, whatever that you want, you can consult with them online. And if you call and they are not available because they are no longer in the office, everybody's working at home and they are working at home as well, they will definitely return your call. But at least
Right.
the information that you need to access and information you need to access as far as their classes, everything is online right now. So you can definitely join it. So, Linda, I want to ask you, one of the things that you are so passionate about is helping women entrepreneurs make six figures. You are so passionate about, and we're gonna dive into you what you have for them coming on. But one of the challenges that, at least when I do my work, is not having the confidence. You see, I help women unpack their story, telling their story, and oftentimes they find out that the story that they thought was that negative, after they go through with the process that I go through, all of a sudden they emerge a totally different person altogether. And I don't compare myself. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. But the process that I walk them through, all of a sudden, the confidence exudes. All of a sudden, they see that as, oh my God, I'm no longer a victim. I'm a victor. I can help those people that are going through the same challenges that I went through, help them out so that they don't have to go through what I went through. Having the confidence is, I mean, it's so important in business, in everything you do now, but it's a challenge in your work, in trying to get women to get to this six figure, because it's easy, but it's not easy as a process that you have to go through. And having the foundation is definitely one of them. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that foundation. Talk about the work that you do with women right now.
Well, to address what you just said, Christy, before I get into the work that I do, I would say to any woman, no matter what you're doing, you can be a housewife, a mother, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to believe in yourself. It starts there, believing in yourself. Because when you believe that you can do it, you'll do it. No matter what you face, you will do it. But you've got to believe it first because it may require getting some training, reading, educating yourself better. But it starts with your belief in yourself. That's where it starts. And now, as far as when women work with me, it always starts with mindset. It does. Because for me to get her the results, like I said earlier, I'm results driven. So for her to get the results, I need her to see it and to believe it. And as we continue throughout the time of our time together, trust me, when we're done, she's confident that she can do it because I show her how to get it done and believe, and I'm there with her along the way. I'm not saying, here's this outline or here's the strategy plan, and this is what you need to do. Unfortunately, I don't do just that. For my clients, I believe in helping with the execution because that's where I find a lot of women have problems. They get great information, but they don't know how to execute it. And execution is so important because if you don't execute it, it will never happen. And then the other is this, as you are executing anything that we do in life, when we are taking action and making it happen, we also have to evaluate it because evaluation is so important. You need to know what's working and what's not working. And then that's either in personal or professional. So I think that's where the difference is for me. And I am, like I stated a moment ago, at a different stage in life right now. And I feel there is an urgency for more women to become financially secure because times are changing, and I just want women positioned better financially.
You know,
And one of the ways to do it is, and women understand, starting your business is one of the ways to do it. Women want to create generational wealth. There is nothing wrong with that, especially women of color. I'm hearing it from more women that look like me, wanting to create generational wealth. I applaud them. So what I'm saying is, okay, we know what we want as women. Now it's time, and let's go do it. Don't be afraid. Let's do it.
you said you talked about when you and I talked about it quite often, and that is the implementation. Oftentimes, I feel that that's one of the main reasons that people don't succeed. The implementation part of it. So you go and buy all these programs, information, you're giving the information. But at the same time, what you really need is for somebody to help you implement it. For a good example is when I work with my clients, I work with them on their presentation skills and storytelling skills. But it's not enough to just give them the information, right? I give them the information, but I stay with them. They write the story, they read the story, they present, I evaluate them and give them the feedback. And then from there, they get more confidence and now they can go out on their own. And so I totally agree in what you said about implementation. No implementation, that's where people get stuck, especially regarding technology, right?
Well, you know what, Christy, as women, we juggle a lot. We do. We have so much going on in our lives every single day. So it is so easy to get the information, and you have every intention of getting it done, but life happens. Something comes up, and then you've set this time aside to do it. And then you go, okay, I got to take care of this. I'll get to it tomorrow. And then tomorrow there's something else. I'll get to it. And sometimes you never get to it. So that's why it's so important when you're working with anyone, um, to make sure what you're getting is what you truly need. Pay for what you need to be successful. I remember when I met with my mentor, my very first mentor, and she had taken the time and written everything out for me to be successful in business and to immediately start generating revenue, right? So I got this strategy plan from her, and I was going through it, and she was telling me, do this, do this, do this. I mean, it was a plethora of things to do. And I sat there, and it was like a deer in the headlight. I came out of corporate America, and she's telling me to do all of these things, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get this done? Where do I start? And then it was like, okay, do I tell her I don't understand how to get it done and make myself look dumb and stupid, or do I fake it
Mhm.
and try to figure it out myself? And my husband and I, we sat and I let him review it as well. And I said, so what are your thoughts? He said, I think she gave you a great plan. I said, well, I need to know how to get it done. He said, well, why didn't you ask her? And I said, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to call her and tell her I need help in understanding how to do these things. And he said, you should have done that when you all were there together, but yeah, go ahead and call her. So I did. And I told her, and I said, I don't, I love what you gave me, but I don't know how to get it done. I don't know how to make these things happen. And she said, okay, look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down and I'm going to help you step by step. And that's how
Wow.
I learned.
Yes.
So
Yes.
again, it went back to me asking.
Asking.
Uh-huh.
It went back to you asking, and oftentimes that starts cast the confidence, because sometimes people don't have the confidence to ask because you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing, even though you don't know what you're doing, right? But you
Mhm.
never ask, you will never get a response. So as we come to the close of this conversation, you talked about women if they are starting out. If they are starting out, the first thing is get those organizations you talk about, like the women's center, small business center, and so on and so forth. What Give us three things in branding. If I want a brand today, I've heard about it, I've listened and watched your video, and now I want to focus on branding. What do I need to do first?
Okay. The first question I would ask you, what do you want to be known for? What do you stand for?
Okay.
Okay. And become crystal clear about who you are going to serve.
Okay.
Okay. Those are three things where I would say start.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. I think our audience, thank you all for watching. Thank you so much for watching us, Janice Cummins, Jennifer, and Justina. I appreciate you guys. If you have any comments, please go ahead and drop it in the comment section and we will get back to you. As we close, I want to remind everybody that we do this show every Monday at 9 I want to say 6 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I bring experts to talk about various issues to uplevel your life as well as business. And also in the comment section, yeah, somewhere on the comment section, I have a way to contact me. And if you are looking for ways to up level your presentation skill, your speaking skill, your storytelling skill, please go ahead and contact me at schedulewithchristy.com, schedulewithchristy.com. And also you can follow our guest today. Linda, thank you so much for coming. Please go ahead and give out your last word before we leave.
Yes. What I'd like to extend to your viewers, Christy, during the month of November, I'm setting aside to help 20 women who are truly wanting to discover and monetize her unique selling proposition. It will be one on one with me, and it will be only 20 women that I will be working with in November to do this. Okay. And if you're interested and you want this, because this can be your roadmap for 2022 in generating six figures. So if you're interested, just send an email to Linda at lindapringleevans.com, and in the subject line, place unique selling proposition. And we will get back with you to discuss it and share the details of these one on ones. And they are for like 4 hours. You'll be spending time with me one on one. Okay?
All right.
Christy, thank
Thank
you.
you
And
so
thank you,
much for
viewers.
coming. Thank you for being here. And thanks for our audience for joining us. We'll do it again, same time, same place every Monday. Bye bye now.
Bye.